Next up, we have nonprofit raffle rules. Lisa McLean.
So this is a complicated petition that we got from Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Nonprofit Association Washington, Congressional Sportsman Foundation, Ducks Unlimited, and Coastal Conservation Association. It was so complicated that we thought it would be best to divide it into 3 parts. Tab 6, the one we're going to discuss right now, is that which we suggest we recommend initiating rulemaking on. Tab 7 is the issues that we recommend be denied, and tab 8 is an issue that we think that you should take your own counsel. So let's start with tab 6. Tab 6, they have 3 ideas about number 1, to keep up with inflation, that member-only raffles, the limits on the maximum price of those for a single ticket should go from 10 to 25. For a discounted package should go from $25 to $100. That actually will impact not just the one rule, WAC 23011-085, but also 086 and 087. So they've amended their petition to include those 2. So that's the first one. The second one is that the nonprofits have told us that they have to rent storage facilities to keep all of these raffle tickets because of the fact that they need to keep unused raffle tickets for 3 years. And so they're asking if we could maybe limit what they have to keep. We think that if you got a complaint, it would be important for us to be able to look at the whole package of raffle materials, but maybe after a year would have passed where we weren't having complaints, maybe they could get rid of some of the stuff. And so we're willing to maybe work with them and think about that. And then the third one is allowing more guests to participate in a members only raffle. Right now, the limit is that only 25% can be guests. But again, the petitioners told us that they oftentimes, let's say Rocky Mountain Elks Foundation has a raffle and the member is one person and then they all want to bring each one of them a spouse. So they'd like that to be raised to 50%. We think that, again, we can work with them on maybe making some changes there. So at those 3 ideas, we recommend initiating rulemaking procedure for further discussion.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Any questions or comments from commissioners?
I would add that several of the petitioners are here.
Okay. Are there any public comments?
This is Nello Pasinich. If you can hear me, I would just make a couple of quick comments, maybe.
Yes, please do.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Commission and staff. Really appreciate the opportunity to do this. So collectively, we represent a diverse group of nonprofits that came together several months ago to figure out ways that we could better streamline fundraising for ourselves and our volunteers. We have a bunch of varied missions. I think the ones on the petition are probably in line with the organization I work for, the Coastal Conservation Association. And by the way, I'm not sure I mentioned it, but for the record, my name is Nello Pasinich. Work with the Coastal Conservation Association. We help protect and preserve salmon and steelhead. You got, Rocky Mountain Elks, Ducks Unlimited working on waterfowl and big game, but we also work with groups like the Boys and Girls Club that, of course, are working with our youth. And I would just add that we've had a really good experience working with staff. Would, again, just take the opportunity to thank them and appreciate this path forward that they've laid out for us, and I guess for you all, on how we can best tackle some of these issues. And then as we go through this, if any questions arise for us, I'll try to do my best to answer any questions. But that was it. And again, thank you and appreciate the opportunity to engage in this discussion.
Great, thank you. Is there any additional comments?
Yes, I'd love to add a few words. My name is Laura Pierce. I'm with the Nonprofit Association of Washington, and we are the state association for all types of nonprofits. And I represent over 700 nonprofit members, and I also wanted to weigh in support of the proposed changes. We've also been involved in the process of identifying some things that will make fundraising easier for our member nonprofits of all kinds. I think you all are aware of the many worthy causes that get supported through the raffle. I noticed there was a list of new applicants for nonprofit licenses, and it was very diverse today. So those are probably fairly representative of the wide range of good community work that's going on all over the state. So I think the proposed changes related to keeping up with inflation and removing burdensome archiving requirements are fairly self-explanatory. And with regard to the record keeping, I would just encourage you to picture a smaller all volunteer nonprofit organization that maybe has to store those raffle ticket stubs in their board members' garages or something like that. You know, we have a lot of small grassroots organizations that are trying to conscientiously follow the rules but may find it more difficult. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I wanted to also make a comment on something that I think is coming up here, the request to allow telephone payments and payments by mail. I just wanted to share with you, last week I was speaking with one of our members that's over in Eastern Washington, Kim Pope from the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Columbia Basin. They're based in Moses Lake and they serve 5 rural counties. And she was telling me that they're currently running a licensed raffle, but they're finding it quite difficult to sell enough tickets in person in their more rural communities. And she feels this requirement particularly disadvantages the rural communities, and that she'd love to see other ways of selling, such as by telephone, opened up to them. She also noted that some nonprofits do have special exemptions from these rules, and that if we made this option available to more nonprofits, that would create additional fairness and support more really great missions. So I urge you to consider all our requests. We really have come together in a thoughtful way to identify these issues. And I'm very happy to answer any questions you may have as we go through these. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Are there any other comments, questions? No, Julie, you don't have anything?
Nope.
All right, we have a motion.
I move to initiate rulemaking proceedings for further discussion.
This is for tab 6.
Yeah.
Do we do all 3 or what do you recommend here?
That's what we were just talking
Yeah.
about.
Oh, they were divided up.
I think because the last comment provided by Ms. Pierce, not in regards to the telephone payment and mail options, that is not part of tab 6. And I think because there are different recommendations for each package, I think it would be cleaner for the record if you voted just on these, and maybe we should point out, you know, there was an update to this tab. So you are voting on to proceed forward to initiate rulemaking on WAC 230.11.075, 230.11.085, 230.11.086, 230.11.087, and 230.11.101 at this time with any motions you proceed forward with.
My motion to refer.
Thank you.
So we now are voting on part 1, correct?
Just tab 6.
Just tab 6.
Just, yes, everything else will come later.
And that's the one that increases the price limits.
Yes.
Okay. I second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion passes.